and greetings to all of my crafty friends. Thank you so much for joining me back on my channel today. Welcome to Pretty Pink Craft Room. For today's project, I wanted to share with you and also do a little bit of a tutorial with you on this new project that I did that is just a single signature journal book. So it's pretty simple to put together. I wanted to show you how I did this one. I'll give you an overview of how it looks, but I also wanted to show you how you can do a different kind of spine. So this spine and what's holding this signature together are just these brads. And they are brads with a little longer stem than what you may normally see, and they are available on Amazon. I'll show you what they look like, but they are actually what is holding all the papers together. And it's a really cool spine technique. I got this from My Porch Prints, and if you haven't heard of them, I'm pretty sure you have, but if you haven't, I will definitely link their channel in the description box. But they did a spine like this with just using the brads to keep the papers together, and I thought it was amazing. I wanted to give it a try myself, and so this is the project I've created. The paper I'm using for the cover is a Simple Stories paper that I got from scrapbook.com. It was just a single sheet of paper, but it was such an amazing design that I wanted to get one and try to figure out how I could use it. Because it's such a collage picture, and I'll show you how the next one looks so you can see the design of it too. So again, it's just a single signature journal. It measures 6 inches by, and the width of it, let's see, is actually 5. So it's 6 by 5, and I just added some ribbon and some lace on the front to give it more of a decoration to it. I added some ephemera on the front, some lace on the spine too, and then this is how the back looks. So it's very beautiful. And then I, distressed the edges of it a little bit with some green distress oxide. It's sealed together by a vellum. Why did I say vellum? I'm so sorry. A Velcro. Velcro is holding it together, or is acting as the closure. And then when you open it up, this is how it looks. And I just loved working with this design with the greens. I wanted to bring in more of nature, more plants, more things like that. And I used some of that leftover paper from Stemperia that I did on a previous project. I also used some papers that I got from Temu, combined that all together, and this is how the project came to be. So on the front cover is just double pockets. One pocket here that's holding 2 tags that again have that plant theme, and then one larger pocket at the back that just has this little journal card with writing space on the back. So that's all that's in that front cover. Then in the inside, I'll do a flip through of what the pages look like. This is just a page edge design that I collaged some ephemera together, gave some animal cards there on the side. And then when you turn it over, this is a pocket page, and I added some ephemera at the bottom here and then put in another journal card. Some of the ephemera was a separate pack that I got from Hobby Lobby, Paper Studio, Hobby Lobby. So I just mixed in some of that paper or some of that ephemera too, to add more to the project too. This page is actually a pocket page. I didn't do much to the front here because it had that design of all the little plants, and I didn't want to cover that up. But on the other side, there's a side pocket, another journal card, some ephemera that I added there. This is some coffee dyed paper. I did some stenciling on it. I added some lined paper and then some copy paper on there as well. This is a sample of the papers that I received from Temu. These papers are single-sided, so I backed them on each other and then added them to the project there. So these are 2 different papers that are just backed against each other. More of the coffee dyed paper, lined paper, copy paper, another sheet of cardstock that I had left over. This is a tuck spot with a little journal card, a tuck spot up here. This here is, I previously did a video where I did like a 7-pocket project using 6x6 paper pads, and if you're interested in that, I will definitely link that video below, where it allows you to use a 6x6 piece of paper and create pockets here, a pocket here, a pocket here, a pocket at the back, and at the back I added another journal card there. And then you can use it as, if you want to use this design as a fold over page, you can do that, and then you have another pocket here, a pocket here, a pocket here, and then a back pocket, and again I added another journal card there as well too. So I'll definitely link that project below if you haven't seen it. It's just a simple way to use 6x6 paper, and in this method I use it as a fold over on one of the pages here. More lined paper, more copy paper. This is more of those Temu papers that again I backed on each other, and this is the middle spread, and then this is the other side, and again more paper, more stenciling. This is a belly band that I created on this page here. Another animal there, and then inside I just added, used those Temu papers again to just create this little flip that has, you know, journaling area on the top and the bottom, and then it just fits inside of the belly band like so. This is more of the back of the cardstock, more paper for journaling, more of those Temu papers that again backed on each other, but very cool design. I really love the design of these, and so I wanted to make sure I incorporated them with the plants and the flowers and everything. More paper. This is another pocket. Added some ephemera with the butterflies, or I just actually fussy cut these out with butterflies and then some mushrooms. And then here is another journaling card, and on the back has some ledger paper on the back there as well. This is a tuck spot. This was a framed part of the ephemera that was part of the Paper Studio packet, so I just added it as a tuck spot. This is a pocket here, and then I created this little fold over inside of a belly band. So I took one of these journal cards, created a belly band, and then just added one of these papers as a fold over with a little tag there, and then it just fits into the pocket like so. That's the back, and then this is the back cover, again using more of that ephemera, and then I just added another tag in the back here, more of the ribbon, and that is the project. So I want to go ahead and make one with you, but as I was considering making it, I realized that this may be more than a single video. It may have to be a part 1 and a part 2 because I want to show you different things that you can do with it. But let's get started, and let me pull out the paper that we will be using for this project. Okay, so this is the paper we're going to be using for our cover for the journal. And as you can see, I'll kind of bring it up closer. This is a sheet from Simple Stories, and it's called Simple Vintage Essentials Color Palette, excuse me. And this is a blush collage. So again, scrapbook.com sells these as single sheets, and I want to say that they were possibly maybe $1.90 per sheet. So if that's something you may be interested in, you may want to check their site to see if they still have these, because you can buy them as just a single sheet by itself. So this is how the front looks, and then the inside has that plaid, that blush pink plaid there too. So all we're going to do with this is we're going to cut it in half so that we have two 6x12 sheets. So let me get my cutter here. And I'm going to first cut off the branding strip. Move that. And then I'll cut this down to 6 by 12. And it also gives you 2 sheets where you can create 2 different journals if you like. So I guess cut this sheet down to 6 by 12. Move the cutter out the way. So now I just have to decide which one I want to use as my sheet, and I think I'm leaning towards this one. Oh, actually, that looks really great like that. What do you guys think? Let's see. That looks great like that too. It's hard to decide. Okay. Okay. So I'm probably going to make more than one anyway, so it won't really be that big of a deal. Both of them will be made into journals anyway, so it's not that big of a deal to be so indecisive about it. Okay, so again, this is my 6 by 12 sheet, and I'm going to score this in a way that this over here actually ends up being your fold over flap. So if it's better for you to, depending on the size of paper that you want to use, if it's better for you to fold it over and visualize it this way, you may choose to do that. But I'm just going to give you the scoring for it right side up. But just remember that the flap or the panel on the far left is actually your fold over part of the journal. So let me get my scoreboard here. And get my scoring utensil. My bone folder there too. Okay. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to score this at 1 3/4 inch. And I want to give a bit of a spine on both sides of the journal. So after 1 3/4, I'm then going to score at 2 1/4. Then I'm going to score at 7 1/8. And then lastly, I'm going to score at 7 1/2. Okay, so again, it was 1 3/4, 2 1/4, 7 1/8, 7 1/2. So let's fold all of these together. So as you can see, that already creates your fold over spine. This is the back panel, and this is the left. Okay, so you can already see how this is coming together to create your journal. One thing I did do is I rounded all of my edges. That, of course, is optional, but I'll go ahead and do that right now. Okay. All right, so that is the base of our journal right there. So let's get some ink, and I'm going to ink the edges of it a little bit, and then we'll go ahead and work on how to create that spine. So we have our paper here, and we previously just rounded the edges. I did do some inking of it on the edges there, and I used this Distress Oxide called Kitsch Flamingo. So if you're interested in that, you could use that as well if you happen to be making a similar project. So this is how the back looks. Now what I did do on the inside, because if you remember on the previous project, I used lace to kind of reinforce the spines there. Since I'm not sure that I will be using lace, well, I know I won't be using lace on the inside. I'm just not sure what the cover or the outside will look like just of yet, but I went ahead and reinforced the spines with some additional cardstock that I just had in my stash, some scrap cardstock. that I thought went pretty nicely. And I did that off camera because I had to leave time for it to dry, because I had to remake those score lines, and that needed time to dry before I could make the score lines over again. So that's all I did. I just cut a strip and glued it to the base, and then scored the lines again, and then did the same side here. The reason why I did this side too is because this is the flap that's going to be continuously opening and closing, and so I thought it might be good to reinforce that as well. So this is how it looks. Now for the spine with the brads, these are what the brads look like, and I'll bring them kind of close so you can see. So as you can see, the legs on it are a lot longer than what maybe normal brads that people might use. And again, Amazon does sell these, so you can pick them up, and they give you quite a bit for not a huge amount of money, but they give you like over 100 of them that you can use for a project like this. So that's what we will be using. Now, since this is 6 inches tall, it's very easy to go ahead and create the holes for this. So all I did was I took my ruler, lined it up, and since it is 6, then I know I wanted to do a hole at 1, 3, and 5. So very simple, very easy. I made some tiny pencil marks there at 1, 3, and 5. So I'm just going to poke some holes there. You may have an owl, or you may have a utensil like this, a picker like this. I use this often just because my owl is somewhere tucked away and it's not always as easy to get. But you can get one of these at like Dollar Tree, and they're great for this too. So I am going to use this We Are Memory Keepers bookbinding stand. And you don't, of course, have to use something like this. You can use, if you have a cushion that you want to put at the back, you can do that. And you can just use something like that. You can, if you have a paper mat or a matting board, you can use that. Anything that will let you push the hole all the way through, so that you can use it that way. So since it's actually going to need to set in the bed this way, let me go ahead and mark my pencil marks where I want to poke my holes. So again, I'm just putting my ruler in place, and I am going to mark where I want to punch those holes at, and I want to punch them at, and of course you can do it in pencil because it's easily erasable after you finish. I'm going to punch them at 1, 3, and 5. Okay, so I just made tiny tick marks for myself so that I could line this up and make the holes that I need to make. So I'm just going to take my little picker tool and try to line this up. So as you can see, I made these holes here. If I bring it up closer, you might be able to see a little bit better. So I have the 3 holes there that are now open and ready for me to insert the brads. So these are, let's bring those brads back in, and then if you insert them, they look like so. And the spine is just wide enough to cover the head of that brad. So it kind of fits very nicely into that spine there too. Okay. So then your brads are inserted and they are ready to be used. So this is how it looks on the opposite side. So you can just go ahead and add your paper into the project there too. So let me show you the paper that I'm going to be using for my project, and just at least one additional item that we can add to the project too before we end and put the rest on another video, if that makes sense. So let me go ahead and bring in the papers. So these are the papers that I have chosen for the project. And again, these are papers that are primarily from Temu. And because they are single-sided, I back them on each other, and this is what will be going into the journal. So this is the front cover of page 1. This is the back cover, and I'll just put that over to the side. Then I have some, of course, tea-dyed paper, some lined paper. This was some, it feels like linen paper that I found in my stash. I have no idea where I got it from. It's super old because it's starting to yellowish at the top of it, if you can see that, but it's still very pretty, and I wanted to add it into the project, so I'm going to add that. This is another one of those papers, and this is how it looks from the back. This was some vellum that, again, Temu had, and I went ahead and purchased that. Thought it would look cute in the project too, so I'm going to add that. Some more tea-dyed lined paper, another pink sheet, lined paper, tea-dyed. This is these are 2 envelopes, and I started trying to see how I could configure that in, and so in the next video I'll show you how I did that part too. Put some washi tape down the middle to secure it together, but this will just fit in the spine and can be, you know, punched through so that it can actually go into the project, but we'll go over that even more so in the next video too. And then this will be our last page, and this is how it looks at the back. So those are the pages we're going to work with in the project. One thing I wanted to do was the inside cover with you today, the inside cover of the project itself. And I want to do one of those hidden booklets. I wanted to make sure I said it right because I've seen it on Pinterest. I think I've seen it on My Porch Pritz as well, but it's fairly out there, so it's probably something you've seen too. So I've taken 2 sheets of paper. This is going to be my cover, and this is the inside. You won't see the back. The back is white, but you won't see it because it'll be glued down to the inside of this page. But these 2 papers are exactly the same size. They measure 3.5 by 5. And that was just a measurement I made up based on the size of my inside cover. So, of course, you can adjust that to what you feel more comfortable with or what you're looking for. But this is just what I came up with for this particular design. So all I'm going to do is I am going to glue this all the way around on all 4 corners, all 4 sides, excuse me. But try to do as thin of a bead of glue as I possibly can. So just a thin bead of glue all the way around. And this, of course, wasn't in the original project that I showed you earlier, but I thought I would try to do a little bit of some things different. I didn't want to do the exact same embellishments or additional pieces to the journal. I wanted to give you something a little bit different. And to be honest, this is my first time making this particular hidden tablet or hidden journal spot, so I'm really hoping that it comes out okay. So let me give that a second to dry. I'll actually burnish it down a little bit, let it dry a little bit. And so then what I have done is I've taken some coffee dyed paper. I just stapled it. I'm sure people mostly do sewing, but I stapled it up top. And these sheets they measure 3 1/8 by 4 5/8. And I chose that size because I wanted to make sure it fits really well in and out without tugging, without any extra pull or anything like that. So now that this is dried, what I am going to do is I'm going to cut a portion off of the top of this because it's completely sealed, backed on each other. I'm going to cut a portion. Let me get my cutter. And for me, I think I want to cut 3/4 of an inch. I'm pretty sure that varies based on what you want it to look like, or, you know, I've seen people do is like a full 1 inch, but I think I'm going to try with 3/4 of an inch. And I'm just going to, well, actually, now that I look at it, I think maybe I do want to do a full inch. Okay. Yeah. Let's hope this works. Okay. Try a full inch. And I'm very nervous about cutting this Usually I make things off camera and then make it together with you once I'm very sure that it actually works, but this time I am not doing that. So we're going to go for it. We're going to pull the trigger and go for 1 inch. So I've just taken off 1 inch of that. And all that you do now is you open this from the middle and you insert these papers inside, and hopefully they fit. And that my glue didn't spread enough, didn't spread too much that it's prohibiting it from fitting. And I think I may need to take just a little bit more off of it. So let me do that. Oops, excuse me. Let me just take just a tad bit more off of the side here so that it fits well. Okay. Oh, and that didn't cut all the way. Let's get some scissors. Okay. Cut the rest of that off. Put that in the garbage. Move the cutter out of the way. So, by the way, this is I was just trying something, playing with something, and this is actually parchment paper that I tried to coffee dye too. It just has an interesting feel to it, and it made some interesting patterns on it, so I just thought I would add it in here. So, back to this project. So, I think I cut enough off. Oh, yeah, there it goes. Okay, so it is in there. I just want to make sure it's straight. Let me use my bone folder to open it just a little bit more so I can straighten it out. I just want to make sure it goes in straight and it's planted straight before I add glue. Okay, there we go. Now you guys can see why I need to break this video up, because if it takes me this long to just do this part, then imagine all the other pieces that I have to do for the journal too. But it's all good. It's all therapy, right? Crafting therapy. That's what we do. Okay, so that is the top portion, and I will glue that down. I just want to open this part up a little bit too with my bone folder. Make sure it fits down there pretty easily without any gaps or any stopping or challenges or anything like that. So let's add this in and see what happens. Okay, see? Now you can see how I made the mistake too, that this is a bit too long. So I have to cut off some more from the bottom. So let's do that. I'm going to cut off 1/4 of an inch from the bottom. Okay, what is this, trial number 3 or 4? Let's see how this all works out. Ah, nice, wonderful. Okay, so now you can see it is all together now, and then it will fit here on our front cover. I like it. I like it. What do you guys think? This was my first time making this project, I'm actually pretty excited that it came about so nicely. We had to make a few adjustments here and there, but eventually we got there, right? Okay, so let me go ahead and add a little bit of glue. Let me put this back in so I can set it in the right place. I don't know why I took that out, but let's put it back. Let's straighten it out. It doesn't seem straight to me. Let's get it all centered. Let's see, make sure it's straight again. Okay, perfect. So what I'm going to do, so I don't take this out again and try to line it up again and keep you guys here, I'm just going to lift this a little bit and add some glue to secure it down. Hold that together and do the same for the back. Doesn't take much glue. This glue is pretty strong, so it's pretty good. Okay. Ooh. See? Don't want to mess that up. Okay. And so then to adhere it, of course, you don't want to add glue up to the top part because that's your pulling mechanism. You want to pull it back and forth. So I'm just going to add glue as a U shape down here because I may want to use it as a pocket. I'm not quite sure yet, but for right now, I'll just make it as a pocket on the project. And then I can have that option available to me if I want to use that. So just adding that here. I think that came out very nicely, you guys. You were seeing me make that for the first time, and usually, like I said, I always make things first on my own to make sure I can do it and make sure I do it right before I do it on camera, but that is okay. And so then this comes out and goes back in. So nice, so nice. Okay, so we have that project done. So again, I'll pull back in the papers, and next time what we will do is we will work on these papers here. I have already scored them, so I'll be able to fold them in half. We'll be able to work on these together. I want to work on them first before putting them into the journal so that, you know, I can measure how chunky I'm making it, if I need to take something out, if I need to add more things, and I want to go over the envelope with you too. Before I let you go, I wanted to let you see another one that I did in a similar style. I posted this in my shorts and on my Instagram page before, but this is another one that I did the same fold over style. This is another journal, another single signature journal, but this one I did the hinge system as just a bow. So this is another option of what you can do. You can just make it as a bow, and again, it has the Velcro dots there, added lace and flowers in the front. And the pages come in and out. This one I did sew, so the others I did not sew, but this one I sewed because it's so loose with the ribbon. But this makes it easy to, you know, pull out and exchange for a different paper. So this is just how I put a pocket on the front cover here, added some lace, some journaling paper there. This one is a fold over page with more journaling. This one just has a cute little flap here with the tag inside. More of that bumblebee sunflower paper. And again, that paper is from Temu too, you guys. More paper here. The flowers and the birds. That's the inside, the center with two pockets. More there. That folds out as well. And then some more of that paper with the stickers. And then that has the paper there. And then I added an extra journaling spot paper here that looks like so. And then that's the back of it. And then it just closes with another Velcro dot. And that's how the back looks. And again, this is using just a ribbon. And all I did was I pulled the ribbon through the project. I did glue it down partially here and here because I didn't want it to lift all the way. So I just glued it here and here, and I added a bow on the side. You can glue it all the way down. You can certainly do that too. And then there's a bow here, and then that holds the papers in together, but they're fully interchangeable. You can pull them out and replace them with other paper when you use up all the current paper that's in there. So that's that one. And again, this is this one. This one is a lot chunkier than the first one. And then next time we'll finish working on the next one. So I hope you'll join me again. I hope this brief tutorial was helpful to you, gave you some great ideas of what to do with a journal and how you can change out the spine and do something different. And I hope you will join me for the next video where we finish working on that flip over journal. Until then, thanks you guys again. Have a wonderful day. Take care. Bye-bye.